Auction time. This is the 6Z series auction. 6Z01 is a large desert side notch. Now, where did I get this idea? I was going for this one in this book right here. But I messed up the middle part, so it had to be much more narrow. And I didn't want to mess with the tip to make it more pointy because I had messed that up too, and I did not want to mess it up again. So there you go. I tried to get the notches and the barbs correct, right? But everything else is a little bit wonky. And there's a bunch of little step fractures all over this thing. Yeah, because I was wrestling with this banded dark gray obsidian. So, any of you guys, if you get it in your OCD, you're going to have a fun time picking out all the little bitty step fractures. Oh, yeah. Let's see, what is this? I've started this. This is the one I started on video that I utilized the flakes for some arrowheads. So this is the blade. It started out very wide, as you remember, but as I was trying to thin it, I messed it up. And it kept getting more narrow and narrow, more and more narrow. Okay, but this started out on video. Let's see. This one is 6 1/8. Okay, and the width on this, let's see, 1 3/8 or thereabouts, a little bit less. Yeah, this is an interesting style. The desert side notch made, or the culture made, big blades as well as small ones, small arrowheads. Yeah, very large range of sizes. Hey, this was probably a knife. Okay. Six Z02. It's a blade. I think I made this off camera and I just sharpened it all the way around yesterday. I sharpened this all the way around yesterday. It's like is it translucent? No. Neither is the one before this, right? Yeah. This is just opaque, dacite looking stuff. This is buttery, sort of, but it's got bubbles in it. So it's a little bit of a different variety. And yeah, I had a hard time getting it smooth. There's a little bit of a... Luckily, this didn't get bad in the middle. A little bit of a crunchy spot. 5 3/4, a little bit over 5 3/4. By 2.5. Okay. It's going to look bigger than it is because my hands are small. Yeah. When you get it, it's not going to look this big because my hands are small, right? All right. I don't know what to say about this one. It does have bands in it. You can't see it that well, though. Okay. 6Z03 video points. The 2 video points I made with the little arrowhead spalls. You can see how these were made on video. Okay? Not much to explain here. I even weighed these. I messed with one of them off camera. I think it was this one. I popped out another little flake. I think it was this one. In the notch. One of the notches. I saw a little spot that needed to pop out, so I popped out a little flake. That's it. Everything else is on video. I was going to make it match in weight and size, but hey, it doesn't matter. 6Z04. This is mahogany obsidian, and I don't know what style it is, but I enjoyed napping it. It's an easy peasy. I don't know what what this resembles in the archaeological record. I'm sure there's a name for it. Yeah, I enjoyed this because it was very cooperative. It's highly unusual that I have something so cooperative. Yeah. No major step fractures, no inclusions. 3 3/8 by 1 5/8. And it was easy to sharpen, no crushing. I mean, this if I had my way, I think I'd just stick to using this kind of obsidian for most of my obsidian stuff. Yeah. Heck, experimenting with the darker stuff. Yeah. All right. 6Z05. Another one from that same type of obsidian. This one is on video. Gypsum Cave. Let's see. It's in the book. Well, let's see. Yeah, it's in this book that I just showed. Let me give you the name because someone's going to ask me. It's Stone Age Spear and Arrow Points of California and the Great Basin by Noel Justice. It's out of print, so don't ask where to get it because you can't. Okay? This one had the desert side notch cluster point in it. Okay? It also has these points in it too. Okay? This one's a little bit on the large side for the gypsum cave, but it's a gypsum cluster. A lot of variety in these points and different sizes, different types of materials too. Okay? I think it's in the archaeological record, it's pretty rare to see these made of mahogany obsidian. I'm pretty sure it's pretty rare. Anyway, I enjoyed doing that. Again, it wasn't too bad. It's on video, right? So I just was picking at it for a long time, trying to figure out what to do with it. And then I just opened up the book and said, yep, Gypsum Cave. 6Z06. This one is a desert side notch. Yeah. It's the same category as the first one, believe it or not. Various sizes to these desert side notch. And this is probably a transitional. If it's in the archaeological record being this large, it's a transitional point between Arrowhead and that little dart point. Right. Let's see. Yeah, it's within here. Let me see if it's age and cultural. It's late prehistoric. Yeah. So they were making these fairly recently. Yeah. And all different sizes. I was going to make some smaller ones. I think I have one smaller one than this that is of this category. All right. I'm going to call it a large desert side notch. Almost 2 3/4. Let's just call it 2 5/8 inches long, 1.5 wide. I would use that as a little dart point or a very large pendant. Yeah. It is sharp all the way around. The sides are kind of wonky because I just left it that way. I didn't do too much picking on the edge. I just kind of left it a little wonky. Yeah, but it's very sharp. Okay? All right. 6Z07. I'm not sure what you would call this one. Again, it's a mahogany obsidian, but it's got a lighter tone to it. Yeah. And this one is very snap and halfish. This particular variety of mahogany obsidian is very snappish. Yeah. I think this started out much longer. How long is it now? 2 3/4 by 1 1/4. Yeah. It's a little dart point. I'm going to call that a corner notch. Yeah. If I can find what it's called in the archaeological record, I'll put it in the description below or in the comments below. But I think I'll just call it a large corner notch for purposes of the auction. 6Z08. I think I might have started this on video. It has a little bit of cortex on the bottom. See that? It has cortex on the bottom. It is semi-translucent. Yeah. What is it? It's like an agate basin, a small one. Yeah, I ended up making it very narrow and, small because I was messing around with it, and I think I put a bunch of step fractures on one side. I can't remember. But I think it step fractured really bad on one side, so it got super narrow. Yeah, this is the kind of obsidian that looks like it'll nap well, but then it fools you. Once in a while, if you're not watching what you're doing, I got a big step fracture multiple times. Big step fractures down here as I was trying to just make it nice and even. So it looked very nice. This is ground down right here like an agate basin. I was just trying to make it nice and straight for the grinding. And it ended up step fracturing on me all over the place. Yeah. Okay. So that's the story behind this one. It's just a very simple point. You can probably pick it up for $10. 3 inches by the widest part is like 1 inch. Yeah. And you would haft it all the way up to here. I like this design because it makes for a strong haft. You don't need much glue. You just wrap it. Yeah. Of course, it's going to snap right there, but hey. Yeah, it will be held in very firmly with just mainly wrapping. That's it. Easy peasy. 6Z09. This one I made off camera from Triple Flow. Yeah. Nice. Now this Triple Flow is tough material. It is tougher than the usual Triple Flow that I work with, and it also is very crushy along the edges. So I did not enjoy making this one, but I liked the way it turned out. Yeah. And I was afraid of blowing away the barbs when I was notching it, but luckily it didn't. Because it's hard to notch. Believe it or not, it's a tough material. Tougher than the usual Triple Flow. 2 1/4 inches long by a little over, well, almost 1 1/8. Okay. What style is this? I don't know. Did I make? No, I don't think I made this on video. I'm losing my mind. But if I did, I described what it was in the video. See, it's very similar to these in style. Right? So I forget what I call this style, or what I saw it named as in the book. Yeah. Okay. 6Z10. This one is another desert side notch. And this one is translucent obsidian. Yeah. Or almost transparent. But it's got a smoky transparency, so it's not like quartz crystal where you can see completely through it. Yeah, it's got that smoky look to it. Now, this one was the most difficult one for me to nab this whole week. Yeah, this was the most difficult one. Why? Because the material is very weird. I think I broke this one like 3 times on the tip. 3 different occasions. It was much longer. I would say a full half-inch longer. Yeah, it was at least 2.5 inches long when I started. Why did I break the tip off? Trying to eliminate step fracturing and crushing along the edge. This obsidian is tough. It's the hardest obsidian that I've encountered so far. It's like a tempered glass, which it may have been naturally tempered somehow to be very strong. It's a very strong obsidian, so it's durable, and that tip's not going to snap off easy. But trying to get a sharp edge on this stuff without crushing, it took me an hour this morning just to sharpen it and to repair the tip breaks, because I already had the preform. Just to get it down to the right size and sharpen it took me an hour, not including making the preform. Yeah, so maybe 2 hours on this one little piece. I don't know if I like this obsidian. I like the way it looks. It makes a cool arrowhead, but it was a real hassle. 2 inches exactly. 2 inches long. Okay. 6Z11. I made this just before I shot this video. Just before I turned the camera on. This is the last point that I made. I did this one this morning as well. So I made these 2 this morning. Or this afternoon. It's already afternoon. And this is dacite, or opaque obsidian. And it's very dark gray. It's not black. It might look black in the video right now, but it's very dark gray. Anyway, it's not black butter or gray butter. It's tougher than that, and it's not as shiny. This I actually like a lot. In small pieces. It's very steppy. With a steppiness, I can usually get that out with a small piece. I can just blast step fractures away and crunchiness away with 1 or 2 big flakes. But on a larger piece, it's more difficult. It also tends to dive in. But overall, it was easy to notch. This is some of the easiest stuff to notch that I've encountered so far. So if I want to make an Ishi point that has these wide expanding notches with very, small entry, what do they call it? Narrow entry notching. If I want to do narrow entry notching, I would probably use this stuff because it notches very, very easily. I don't know why. That's why I put some extra notches in here, because it was easy peasy. That only took me like 10 minutes to put these extra notches in, and maybe 10 minutes to do these basal notches. I don't know what this is, maybe a Stockton, but Stocktons usually have a rounded base. So I don't know what this is. If it's in the archaeological record, I don't know what it would be called. Yeah. A little over 2 inches long. Okay, there you go. That's it. That's it for the items. Now, for the cheat notes. These are a short version of the rules. There's a better description in the description box below. Okay, I'm just going to read straight off the cards. There's a better description below in the description box. There will be an auction every Monday. Look at my previous auction videos to see how they work. The auctions start between 3 and 4 p.m. Eastern time on Mondays. and they end at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Okay. The start time varies depending on my schedule. Sometimes I can get it uploaded early, sometimes I can't. But there will be an auction every Monday no matter what. You bid in the comments section. If you cannot reply, you will not be able to bid. Okay? I can bid for you only as a last resort. I will not bid for you closer than 5 minutes prior to the end of the auction. You bid under one of my pre-populated comments. Please always include the item number if you are not sure you have placed your bid under the proper comment. All right? I will like your comment if I see it. I will heart or love your comment if you win. If you don't see a like on your comment or bid as the time approaches the end of the auction, that means I cannot see your comment or your bid. If you suspect that your bid is not seen, try to comment with, "Did you see my bid?" or something like that. If I don't respond, I can't see your bids. All right? So that's an issue with YouTube. I don't know why, but sometimes bids and comments are not always visible. That's just one of the hazards of participating in an auction here on YouTube. All right? Just be aware. I'm just giving you fair warning. Sometimes your bids are not seen and you're going to either lose out or get upset, So just be aware. Try not to bid at the last minute. Yeah. There's a reason for that, though, other than it makes people very angry. YouTube has a time tracker on your comments, and that's what I use to see if you're late or on time. Okay, I do a hard close, what they call a hard close of the auction at 9 p.m. Eastern. If YouTube says that you're late on the time tracker, that little timestamp that YouTube puts on your comment, then you're late. Even if you're not. Even if you and I both know you're not late, I'm going to call you late if YouTube says you're late. All right? So that's why try not to bid at the last minute because it may not work. Just fair warning. Shipping is free in the U.S. International shipping will have a cost of $10 or $20 depending on weight. I will provide tracking numbers. Yeah, international shipping starts at $17 for a small package, no matter how small it is. Starts at $17. So you're getting a discount. Yeah, even though I add some, it's just getting very, very expensive to ship internationally. That's why I'm adding on if you're an international bidder and winner. Okay? For payments, I accept PayPal, PayPal.me, Venmo, Cash App, checks or money orders, cash, and I can also do Zelle. Yeah, let's put that in there. If you have Zelle, I can do that. Okay. What is Zelle? Zelle? I think that's how you spell it. Yeah. If you don't know what that is, don't worry about it. The auction ends at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, which means it ends at 8 Central or 7 Mountain or 6 Pacific. Yeah, it ends at different times depending on your time zone. Okay? I will begin announcing winners at 9:01 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 1 minute after close. Give myself 1 minute to check everybody's bids, make sure I can see everybody's bids, and then I start announcing the winners at 9:01. Okay, I will hit the heart button if you win on your comment. This is the only notification you will receive. Okay, this is very important. Please keep an eye on your comments and bids. Okay? If you win, you have to email me. I know it doesn't say that here, but you must email me if you win, if you're new. Now, if you've done business with me before, you don't have to do that rigmarole every time. I already have your name and address and payment method. Okay, but if you're new, that's very important. You'll see a heart on the winning bid. Send me an email to jackcrafty2@gmail.com and we'll make arrangements for you to get your item. Okay? All right. There you go. Again, there's a better description in the description box. Well, I don't know if it's better, but it's a more complete description. Anyway, I hope you liked this week's items. and good luck.